Now I want to ask you about, because you talked about that already, you touched in several different ways the difference between Deshi media and mainstream media, and different kinds of challenges, like them covering only, we have many reporters covering specific things, and you cover, we have to cover, people like you and me have to cover everything. But at the same time, one of the things which I have sort of been noticing is that the Deshi media primarily caters to the Deshi community, whereas the mainstream media mostly ignores the Deshi community unless something impacts the mainstream community. So do you feel like there is some disconnect in your experience now between the Deshi and the mainstream media, and do you see any ways in which we can bridge this without losing our own specificity, our own specific purpose?
Absolutely. Absolutely, I agree what you're saying, and I used to tell people this is just, we are just in between the time. We are just in between the time. It will not be ignored anymore, because if you see, I talk to somebody, they are being a senior, my due respect to them. They say once it was an event I was covering, so I said, why did you host this press conference in downtown area? Like people, because the ethnic media, they say we were expecting, they were expecting there will be a mainstream media coming. I said, but I don't see anyone here. We were expecting. I said, you should have confirmed it from them. I said, it takes too much of toll from me to Schaumburg to downtown, like sometimes 2.5 hour one way coming, and then you go there and just after, you could have come there. So the person said, oh yeah. I said, what do you get from them? Maybe 1 minute of coverage, not even 1 minute, 30 seconds. So this gentleman answered, my due respect to him, and if he's watching, he knows for whom I'm talking. He said, oh no, your 10 minutes are much better than their 30 seconds. I said, stop this crap right now. And I am, because it is not an easy task what I do. It is not an easy task what you do, because it's a toll. Mainstream media has so much of resources. We have a resource crunch, because like when going to downtown, like a parking itself, like from far off, like carrying heavy equipments, going there, and they have so many people, means working for them, but it is how we take ourselves into, and they will not be able to ignore us anymore, because we see, like it's a film festival was there, like Chicago South Asian Film Festival, that the mainstream media was there to cover, maybe 30 seconds, 15 seconds or whatever, because we have to, as an Asian, as in South Asian, as an Indian, we have to take in pride in what we are, and that our culture, and if we take pride in, and they will not be able to ignore us anymore.
You mentioned that, in fact, when other than TV Asia, you also do some reporting for media outlets in India itself, much bigger media outlets in India. And at the same time, you're a very religious person. You mentioned right from the beginning your parents are in Delhi. So could you tell us what sort of relationships, emotional and factual, you maintain with India still, while working primarily in Chicago?
Being in Chicago, actually, as I told you, Chicago being Swami Vivekananda's, it's very close, Art Institute, and that Vedanta Society too. But being with India, my relationship, whenever I am visiting India, I make it a point, because I have to take my journey to the places. Like 2012 journey was going to Chitrakoot, Varanasi, Ayodhya, and Prayagraj, that's Allahabad. And the place, then we did the parikrama. So Chitrakoot ke ghat pe bhai santan ki bhir, Tulsidas Chandan Giras, or Tilak Let Raghupir. And I had the privilege to actually feel it, touch it, and take pictures of the Tulsidas ji's Ramayan's one Kand, which is still been preserved by one of the families right there. And if it is a tourism for me, I think I am being a very spiritual soul from beginning, and that's my mother's blessing on me, so is my father. I enjoy, and only thing left right now is going to Mansarovar. Hopefully, yes, hopefully, let's see when will that be done, and I'll be very happy to, because going twice to that region becomes very difficult, and then the body doesn't actually, you get sick, it doesn't respond very well, and I feel bad when I come back, oh, I didn't eat this, and I was able to do this, and I couldn't do that, but other than that, people would like to go to beaches. I said no, People would like to go to other places of interest because I have already done. My father was a railway station superintendent in New Delhi railway station, so we have done a lot of tourism as kiddos also. So, but this is when I go, I pick up like Ganga is very close to my heart. So is Gau, and so is Gita. Ganga gives unconditional. Ganga doesn't take rest. They say, like, you know, because it's going in flow. And Ganga doesn't distance between anyone. So it is giving it to everyone. And that is the way the life I want to lead.
The next two questions, you've actually already answered them here and there in the course of this interview. But I'd just like you to summarize the things you said. So these two questions are, first of all, what do you find most satisfying about your work in brief? And then what do you find most challenging in your line of work? If you were to put it in a nutshell.
As you said, what's satisfying when you see smiles on people's faces. You brought Chicago on the mainstream map, and my stories have been taken up by the mainstream media also sometimes because they were not able to reach, and so I give them the footage myself, and that has been like a reward for me. It's not that we are in, because what do we want? We want a credit, like you know, it should be given it to means the person, and that's what the biggest reward. And the biggest challenge is, I wish the God can make a day for 48 hours. I have already filed a petition, but it's still pending, so I can serve more.
Very good. Final question. What advice can you give to the Deshi communities, who you know so well, better than most people, the whole range of Deshi communities, and especially to event organizers, how they can help you make your work easier, how they can help you help them?
Who am I to advise the community? I am just like, you know, a new infant, a toddler. I'm still learning myself. But I always say, respect the time. Because you have to understand, and it's not that everybody is in a position to do a commanding role. But sometimes, if you invite, like, you know, see, a person like you, if you've been given a time at a 7:30, so they should be respecting your time, that you may have other commitments also, and you are a human being. Like, it's not for them, their event is their baby. For them, their event is just one, the only thing. For you and me, it is just a number one. So that's what the biggest challenge. And I tell, we can do much better, we can grow better, we can do more things for community, but it is our organization A has to be respectful to the time of an organization B, because people don't realize when they tell me, oh, come for 5 minutes, who's going to drive me there? Like, you know, from one end to another end, and the traffic of Chicago, everybody knows it takes, like, you know, sometimes on a weekend also, it's like, I was in the UIC for the International Indian Student Association function. It took me from Schaumburg to UIC forum more than 2 hours. And when you're sitting on a pad, you can do anything. So that's very tough. So please respect others' times. And we live in this country. Don't just say, because even the politicians, when they come to our programs, they do come late because they know that we don't start on time. And that is not taking a pride. If we came to this country, we should follow that and adapt that and teach it to our Indian brothers and sisters in India also. Respect for time. Time is money.
Thank you, Vandana ji, for sharing all your experience and insights with us. I'm sure the community is going to appreciate this very much when they see the entire interview. And it's also so auspicious that, you're such a Bhakta of Shiva and Parvati. I know you're going to spend your evening in meditation, and it's this day which was chosen also to bestow you this recognition. So I could see just now when we went upstairs that the whole community is delighted on your behalf. So may you have a long life, long success, and many more years serving the community. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time and taking up this.
Well, many thanks to Sandeep Kaush. He's the one who so patiently recorded our interview. Will you tell us just a little bit about yourself?
I go to Glenbard East High School, and I'm 15 years old. I'm a freshman, and yeah, I like choreography, so I'm going to be taking classes next year about it. And yeah, that's it.
So, okay then, very good. As you know, this video is going to go on YouTube. So if you need to give some attestation of your competence, just send a link. And if there are any distortions on the video, say it's the fault of me, that I did a bad job. Thank you.